Welcome students. So the new session is starting, and as per the current scenario we all are going to follow the pattern of online education. So I would say it was really fascinating for all of us that how online education can be carried out. But due to the current situation of COVID-19, the global pandemic, it had now become the necessity of every college and every student to attend the online lectures so that we can carry on with our syllabus and can complete our courses in time. So students, before starting today's lecture, I would like to share some information about the various digital platforms that are being used to carry out the online teaching learning process. So students, today's lecture is mainly based on the basic applications for online teaching learning process. I will only discuss some of the most commonly used and the simple ones which every student can use so that they can easily carry out their online learning. So students, let us start with today's lecture. So now we shall be discussing about the basic apps for online teaching learning process. The purpose of this lecture will be to become familiar with commonly used applications and software for online learning from students' perspective. So students, it is mainly as per the students' perspective. No doubt it is also new for us like teachers, but students must become familiar with this. Now, how to set up a digital platform? The digital platform that we require in our learning process mainly consists of these three applications: Zoom, Google and Microsoft OneNote. And another bonus one is also present with us known as YouTube. We all are familiar that many educational videos are already present in the YouTube channels, so we can easily browse the topics and we can learn from different teachers, not only your class teachers or your subject teachers, but from different teachers. So now let us discuss one by one how a student should set up these applications and how they should use them for their own benefits. Now let us start with Zoom application. So nowadays Zoom is quite common for the online teaching learning. It means it is common for online education. Most of your lectures will be delivered through Zoom applications and it will consist of online meetings. It is nothing but a virtual class setup. No doubt you will be sitting in your comfort place at your home, but you will be at the same time attending the classes with your concerned teachers. So now let us understand what is this application. Many of you must be familiar with this, but we shall be discussing this in detail so that every student should get benefit from this. Now what is Zoom? Zoom unifies the cloud video conferencing, simple online meetings and group messaging into one easy to use platform. So it is a common platform. Classrooms are more interactive and virtual 1:1 teacher student ratio can be achieved. So students, this is the major benefit of a Zoom classroom. Traditionally in the physical classes, the 1:1 teacher student ratio can never be achieved, but this can be achieved virtually in Zoom conference meetings. So this is the major benefit of Zoom application. Now let us know the procedure for setting up of Zoom. I will be discussing the screenshots of the desktop app, but it is also available on Play Store for Android users, and also available at App Store for iOS users. So now let us discuss these steps. First of all, you must follow this link. Click on this link so that you can reach to the site from where Zoom app can be downloaded. Click to install this one, the below mentioned link, see here, so that you can download it. It is available on the website of zoom.us. Now after downloading the app, create an account. The next step is to create an account. Once you create an account, go to your email to activate the account. Once the account is created, you have to give activation access from your registered email. See here, sign up for free. You have to click on this, and then you will have to set up your email and password. You can also sign in with Google or with Facebook. This is also present. If you don't want to create another email ID or you don't want to register it with your email, you can easily sign with your existing Gmail account or with the Facebook account. Next, signing into the account. See here in the previous tab, you can sign in by using your concerned email and password. After signing into the account, join a meeting that is in progress. You will be provided by a link from your teacher. Every day you will receive a link from your teacher regarding the online class on Zoom. You will have to just click on that particular link and this application will open by default and you will be joining that meeting. Now share screen. You can also share your computer screen in Zoom room by entering the sharing key on the meeting ID. This can be useful if practical Viva is being conducted or you are submitting some oral test for your teacher. Now how to access the chat tab? Chat tab is quite important because in the chat tab you can easily give your attendance. It is mainly used to get the attendance. Click the chat tab to view the conversation with your contacts or group conversations. You can easily ask a question also, you can ask a question and you may also answer the query by having a private chat with your teacher. This is the main benefit of the chat box. Now we will discuss the in-meeting controls. Once you have started or joined a meeting, you can access the meeting controls located at the bottom of the meeting window. See here. Here are the meeting this is the meeting window and these are various controls. First of all, the audio control. In the audio control, you can use by joining the default audio of your device, or you may also add an external mic here for a better audio experience. Now in the video control, you can pause your video or you can also stop your video. It will be required as per the instructions of the teacher. So the rest of these controls are for teachers and not for you. But if teacher asks you to share something, you will have to click on this green button to share your screen. The permission will be granted by the concerned teacher taking your class. Now the next application is Google Classroom. So the Zoom application only provides us with the interactive part, but the major part is covered by Google Classroom. It is used for submitting your assignments and even notes can also be provided, and moreover any kind of examination can be carried out on Google Classroom. So this will be your major interactive platform. All of you will be entered into the Google Classroom as per the instructions of your teacher. So now I will be discussing how you should join a class or the link given by your teacher on the Google Classroom. So first of all, let us discuss what are the benefits of this Google Classroom. The efficiency is simple and paperless assignment workflow, which is the need of the hour. It is the need of the hour. We will have to follow this paperless system. The visual appeal. The design is quite clean and user friendly. A person can easily interact through it. Next is organization. Organizes the work for students and teacher. It is beneficial for both student and teacher. Integration, full integration with Google Drive. So Google Drive, every one of you must be familiar with this term of Google Drive. You can easily save your documents and other pictures, images, videos in this Google Drive. It provides an easy access to your Google Drive. Next is communication. It enhances the communication with students. So communication is the important part, because without the communication the classes cannot be conducted. So now let us see how we can join the Google Classroom. So joining a new class, the digital workflow, complete and submit the assignments. It is majorly done to have an access to the paperless system. The paperless system. The next is the digital communication, discussion and email. The written part of communication can be carried out through this. Now the last one is integration with the Drive. It helps to save your data. It helps to save your data. So now step 1, how to join the class. This kind of thumbnail will be created once you download the Google Classroom on your device. For Android users, it is available on Play Store, and for the desktop or laptop users, you can easily browse them on Google Chrome. So see here how to join the class. You will be getting a class code. You will be getting a class code from your teacher. You will have just to enter into the Google Classroom and click on join. See here, a link will be posted. In order to join a class, student can accept the invitation sent by his or her teacher or can enter the class code. Students can easily navigate between the classes by using the menu button. See here, there are different classes and this type of link will be available to join the new class. Now let us understand the various settings in it. The menu button will allow students to navigate between the classes, check assignments or change the settings. See here, when you click on the settings, you will be having all your classes displayed on your left side panel, and all the assignments that are being published by the teacher or you are supposed to submit them, they will be available here. Now how to submit the assignment? This is the major part of Google Classroom. How you will submit your assignments? Just see here, the students' home screen will display the names of all their class teachers and upcoming assignment. So students, if any teacher posts a work or an assignment into your Google Classroom, you will see a message here. See here, you will see a message that upcoming assignments. So till here no assignments are being given, but you will have an assignment notification if any of the assignment is asked. The assignments page will keep track of past and upcoming assignments. See here, the assignments will be mentioned as, here are the assignments given to you. It's just an example. Students may go to the assignments page in order to view the upcoming assignments for all the classes. See here, you have been given 3 assignments in total and you are still to submit your 2 assignments. You had only submitted a single assignment. So students, is it clear? The multiple intelligence survey, see here, it is just the name of the assignment, the multiple intelligences survey. So this is the assignment you will have to submit. I am just discussing an example. After completing your assignment, you can turn in. Students can also access, complete and turn in their assignments from the class stream. In the class stream, you can easily add your assignment. So next is how to communicate. So in the stream part of your Google Classroom, you can easily communicate with the comments of your teacher. See here, the comments of your teacher. Students can post comments, attachments, YouTube videos or link directly to the class stream. If any particular access is asked by your teacher or some information is required, you can also post this on the classroom stream. It is directly visible to your teacher. It's the most easiest method by which you can directly interact with your teacher without giving him or her a call. Now students may communicate directly with the teacher on the assignments using the comment feature. So see here, a student is writing a comment. I am submitting my assignment early because I would like you to look it over if you have a chance and return it to me with the errors present. Thank you. You can ask any query, or if you have any doubt, you can also clarify them through your assignments. Now how to integrate the classroom with Google Drive. The classroom automatically creates a Google Drive folder in each class. So you will not have to provide a particular access in your Google Drive. As soon as you log in into the Google Classroom, it will automatically create a separate folder for your each class. Students and teacher may access the Google Drive folder in the classroom on the About page. See here, in the About, on the main tab. It's on the main tab at the front of your classroom page. You can easily access your Google Drive folder where you have saved your assignments and your notes. See here, these are the various folders that are created for each of your class. You can access them at any time. Students may attach files from Google Drive or create an assignment in the Google Drive from Classroom. You can directly save your assignments into the Google Drive. So it's an easiest method to save your complete work. Now the next software we shall be discussing it is Microsoft OneNote. Not used earlier because it was hardly of any use to the students, but due to the paperless work and submitting the assignments online, Microsoft OneNote had gained the popularity at a very early stage, we can say, because it provides an easy method to prepare your notes. You can prepare the notes here in a paperless manner. Now let us discuss how this OneNote can help out you. So what you will learn and do, learn the basic steps of using OneNote, creating a workbook in the cloud, adding sections and pages and taking notes. So students, this OneNote is nothing but your notebook. Every one of you must be familiar with the notebook. So it is just the digital, or we can say the electronic part of your notebook. You can do your daily work, you can save here your daily work, you can even submit the notebook assignments in the PDF format. It's very easy. Now let us understand this application. OneNote is a digital notebook you can use at home, in office or on the go, anywhere you want. Use OneNote to take your notes, store your documents, create spreadsheets, capture information, save emails, share information with others. You can use to capture every part of your subject. You can capture every part of your subject. You can organize. OneNote will automatically save and sync to your other devices. You can synchronize by using OneNote software all your work. OneNote notebooks can be shared with co-workers, your team or family, but here it can also be shared with your teachers. The most important, your teacher can directly access to your notes and can tell you about how you can improve your notes making. It's a quite important feature. It's very important for your notes making. Now, how to create a notebook? If someone has shared a notebook with you, or you can click to open the notebook tab. If the notebook opens online, you can click to open in OneNote. This will synchronize the notebook into your OneNote. Otherwise, to create a new notebook, you will have to open the OneNote software, and in that you will have to go to the file, then new, choose the OneDrive personal. OneDrive is available on your laptop, desktop to synchronize your data. It will automatically save. Under the notebook name, type a name and then click create notebook. See here. Here you can see the notebook name. Here you can write your subject. For example, we are studying chemistry. We can write here chemistry. It will create a notebook by the name of chemistry. Then you will have to click on this, create notebook. Now, how to open the notebook? To open the notebook, open the OneNote, choose file, open, go to the subsection of open. Under the open from the other location, choose recent notebook. See here, recent notebooks. In the recent notebooks, you will be having a direct access to your created notebook. For example, if we had created a notebook named chemistry, it will be available here. To pin the notebook to the recent notebook, click list the pin. Here you can see, here a small icon of pin is there. You can even pin this out. You can even pin this. Pin means you can directly access this. What if someone send you a link to your notebook? Click the link to open the notebook. Then the OneNote will automatically open it out. Now, adding sections and subsections or pages. Now, how to add sections? As we all know, there are various sections in our subject. For example, if we are discussing chemistry, there can be many subsections such as organic part, then inorganic, then physical chemistry. So, you can make the subsections. Now, how to make these subsections? Choose the symbol of plus along the top of the notebook. See here, it is available. Rename the section by double clicking on the section name. See here, you can double click on this to rename. By double clicking, you can rename that. To change the color of the section, right click on the section tab and choose the section color and then choose a color. See here, you can even change the color. So, in your notebook, we are having access to different subsections such as maths, biology, history. So, all your subjects are covered in a single notebook here. Now, next, how to add pages. Section and pages are used to organize a notebook. See students, pages and sections are usually added to organize, so that you can give a particular structure to your notes. Now, how to add pages? Click on add page, choose plus add page here, name the page by typing the title and pressing enter. See here, the page title can be added. What is the title of the page? Means topic that you are writing on that particular page. Next, you can even change the color of the background. To change the page color, choose view and then page color and choose a color. See here, it is usually done to increase the clarity of notes. So, once you make your notes, please click it on to create the change in the color of the page. Now next, how to make notes, making notes. This is the main part. Now you have organized your notebook. Now how to make the notes? OneNote provides several ways to take out the notes, such as typing, writing, drawing, sketching, speaking, copying and everything. See, all your different aspects are arranged in a single format. You can type, you can write, you can even draw, you can even sketch the diagrams. Then you may add an audio note. It is not possible otherwise in your physical notebook, but you can also provide audio notes here. Copying, you can even copy the material from other notes, but I would say you should avoid this habit of copying. Create your own notes. Type notes simply by typing in the space. This type of box will be created, and at this particular place you can type what you want to write. See here, a box is created and you can write in that. You can even handwrite your note. For handwriting the notes, you will need a stylus or a drawing pen, I would say. It's an electronic pen. To use a bulleted list, type star on a new line and then press on the space bar. So in the top menu bar, you will have an access to various ink tools by which you can write. So students, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the gadget known as writing tablet, or sometimes it is also said to be a digitizer. It is usually done to make notes or for graphic designing. It is quite helpful in preparing your notes. I would not recommend to invest in such options, but if you can invest in it, you can easily make your notes by using a graphic tablet or a writing tablet. So how to ink tool? So this is mainly used for, it can mainly be accessed through a writing tablet. On the ribbon, choose draw. So it is the ribbon or the menu bar, you can say. You can use the ink tools. See here, various ink tools are present, various types of pens, various types of highlighters. See, these are all the highlighters. You can even select the color and thickness. See here, stop drawing and return to typing by using this tool. Select by drawing a shape. If you want to draw a shape, you can use this tool. Pan the page and locate the hidden notes. You can scroll down the page by using the panning hand. Then eraser to erase the unwanted content. These are different types of pen or the marker you can use to highlight. So by this tool you can adjust the color and thickness. You can also convert your handwriting to text by selecting the content you want to convert. Then choose draw and choose ink to text. This is also available. If your handwriting is poor or your handwriting is not clear, you can select your handwriting and then you can choose that to be converted into the text format. It will be easily converted to the text. No conversion is perfect, so double check for accuracy and make corrections. This is quite important because you cannot do anything in your first attempt. Remember this. If you are practicing these kind of software, you can easily have an accuracy of more than 90%, I would say. So students, that was all about the basic tools and applications that you can use to set up a digital platform. So learn them and practice these innovative methods so you can carry out the online teaching learning process in a more impressive and effective manner. So students, thank you. I hope this lecture was somewhat helpful to you. So be prepared for the curriculum and your subjects and work hard and score well. Thank you.